So anxiety is becoming an increasingly big challenge for a lot of people, especially teens, young adults. We are so overstimulated that our systems are in overload. We're constantly in this chronic state of anxiety. So in this video, I'm going to share some mindfulness techniques that we can utilize to help combat anxiety. So if you haven't already seen this channel, my name is Rob Carney, and what I do is help people with their health and really using holistic health. I've been practicing this for over 10 years, and anxiety is such a big challenge. I see with clients, I see with friends, I see with family. So this is a video I'm really excited to share with you and hope that it helps. So let's first dive into anxiety in and of itself. Like I mentioned, we are so overstimulated. We have so much coming at us at once between social media, between overworking, not sleeping enough, toxic foods, electromagnetic frequencies, so much coming at us at once that our bodies are in this chronic state of our sympathetic nervous system being stimulated. And that's basically our fight or flight mode. It was a system in our body that was once, I think, has really been the reason we've gotten this far as a species, because we are able to secrete adrenaline, cortisol, these hormones that basically give us superpowers. We can run really fast, we can lift crazy things. You always hear the stories of the grandmas lifting up a car when a child's under it, which they can never do in real life. But when that stress response is so charged up, we have incredible abilities. And that's great in a very acute sense when it's a survival mode. But when it comes to day-to-day life and that tiger chasing us that we had the adrenaline to outrun is now the boss yelling at us, or traffic, or our cell phone playing comparison games as we're looking on social media. Anxiety is going to be an inherent part of our life if we are constantly overly stimulated. So some great techniques for reducing anxiety using mindfulness can simply be breathing. So slowing down, breathing in and out through the nose, using the belly, 2/3 belly, 1/3 chest. And you can even put your hand on your belly and your hand on your chest to see where you're breathing. Are you pushing up with your belly or your bottom hand, or is your left hand, your top hand, being pushed up higher? So practicing breathing is first and foremost. Anytime I feel anxiety coming on, it's usually because I'm breathing very shallowly, often through my mouth, often into my chest, just like this. That's hyperventilation. That's a stress response. So if we can slow that down, shifting to breathing in and out through our nose, filling up the belly, and slowing the breath down, lengthening the inhales and lengthening the exhales. That's going to get us into our parasympathetic mode, our rest and digest mode. So anytime we think about anxiety, we want to think about getting into the parasympathetic state. Anxiety is a result of being too sympathetically activated, that fight or flight mode. We're too high up here. We're too overcharged. We're too in our head. We have too much energy that's swirling around, too many stress hormones. So we want to ground ourselves. And that could be going for a barefoot walk. That's one of my favorites. That could be doing some mindful movement. That could be Tai Chi, moving and breathing. That could be practicing different breathing techniques. And I'd love for you to share below, what are some of your favorite ways to help reduce anxiety? Because maybe somebody reading in the chat can benefit from that as well. You know, this is something that, as I said, is so important. So I'd love to hear your response, what really worked for you with your anxiety. So we've practiced breathing, we've practiced moving. What are some other ways that we can really help ourselves? And that comes down to, like I talk about often, is 6 foundation principles: moving, thinking, breathing, nutrition, hydration, sleep. Maybe most of us aren't sleeping enough, and that could be a huge cause for anxiety. Most of us aren't hydrated enough, and with just a 1% dehydration, we start to experience brain fog, we start to experience headaches, fatigue, a lot of these challenges that many of us associate as just part of life nowadays. But if we actually got some high quality water in our system, we can change a lot of that. Maybe the food we're eating is toxic. This is why I always recommend growing your own food. So I have my free ebook, which I will link in the description box here as well. It's called Yes, You Can Grow Your Own Food. It's a free ebook. I think it's less than 15 pages, straight to the point. The basics of getting started. And this is growing indoors right now, which, this is just a little storage rack. We can all do that. So improving the quality of our nutrition, improving the quality of our hydration, improving the quality and quantity most times of our sleep, improving the quality of our thoughts. If you're watching negative news, that is not what you want to be watching. So spend some time, mindfulness techniques, journaling is a great way to get things out of our head. Being fully present with our thoughts, feeling into those thoughts and emotions instead of reacting, instead of something coming on, sit back, incorporate some of these things. Maybe you journal, maybe you breathe. Notice what happens when you start to incorporate all these pieces together. And it's not going to be one size fits all. The tools are going to change on a day-to-day basis. Maybe you feel some anxiety today. Maybe drink some water and you feel better. But maybe you're hydrated and you're still feeling anxiety. So maybe that's where you start doing some journaling. Maybe that's where you practice some breathing. But I always recommend starting with what's free. And breathing is absolutely free. You can change so much so fast. Remember, there are studies. Back when I first started teaching meditation classes about 6 years ago, I remember there were some studies that showed just by taking 3 deep intentional belly breaths, we can reduce cortisol, which is the primary stress hormone, by up to 80%. And that doesn't mean it's not going to come back. That means we gave ourselves a good reset. So anytime you're feeling that anxiety, take some time to slow down. Breathing in through the nose. You can breathe out through the mouth or out through the nose, whatever feels best, but 3 breaths. Let's do 2 more. That just changed my whole state just right there. So a great technique I really like to utilize is using that same technique, but anytime I'm about to give a presentation, about to have a difficult conversation, maybe go into a job, anything that may cause me stress is a great opportunity to practice breathing. A great way to reset ourselves, release the tension that we're holding on to before, and getting ourselves present to the moment to move forward with whatever difficult task we're about to embark in. So if you take anything away from this video, conscious breathing is number 1. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you haven't watched some of my other videos about mindfulness, I will link those here. Why is mindfulness important? Is meditation and mindfulness the same thing? Some different videos I'll put on here. But if you do think that this was helpful for you and you know anybody in your life that is struggling with anxiety, please do share this video, because we never know whose lives we can change by sharing the message that someone may need to hear. And if you want to learn more about growing your own food, I will put the links in those description boxes as well. If you want to upgrade your nutrition, get some EMF protection, I will put those links in there as well. So thank you for watching. I appreciate the support on the channel. Please do like, share, and subscribe. That would really help me spread the message of health and wellness. I appreciate you. Have the best day ever. See you soon.